Everybody, Gunnison Undercover. Today is Friday, January 11th, 2019. And we're going to talk about my friend, Police State New Jersey. We're going to talk about the event that happened down in Toms River with this Blue Zero Hero idiot by the name of Frank Moschella. There's another story that's come out that's covered a little more in depth. This story's a little bit of a big thing here in central New Jersey. It's made the radio station, and now it's on one of these, I guess, online newspaper things. But this is what it says right there. I'll just read it real quick. Police investigating, this is on the Jersey Shore Online. Police investigating alleged constitutional violations by officers caught on video. Now, I'm not going to read this because it's kind of a lengthy thing, but I'll put the link in the description box so you can read it for yourself, sort of get some explanation. They interview Police State New Jersey, and also the chief from Toms River Police chimes in a little bit too. So, first thing we're going to talk about is, as many of you know, Police State New Jersey took all his videos down, and he posted a video on there explaining what he plans to do. He's going to take a new approach. Now, I have spoken with Police State New Jersey, and I understand what he's up to. I know him personally. He's a friend of mine. We're auditor friends. You know, he's got my back. I got his back. Anytime he knows he can pick the phone up and call me. He has to be a nicer guy than me. You know, I'm more to the throat, and he's more of a nicer guy. That's just the difference between us, but that doesn't mean we're bad, okay? So I want to say this to everybody out there, because I know some people are calling him a bootlicker, turncoat, that he's sold out. And as it stands right now, and you people know I don't bullshit, I'll tell you the way it is, whether you're a friend or not, because friends will tell friends the truth. I don't think Police State New Jersey is selling out to anybody. I know what he's up to, and I know what's going on behind the scenes, and that's all I can tell you right now. And I would say this to everybody, just be patient with Police State New Jersey. There's a method to his madness. Now, let's get on to this Frank Moschella from Toms River. Here he is, right here. I made this little video here, and my friend Police State New Jersey was kind enough to give me permission to use the video, and I have done so. Many people out there have also mirrored this video, so even though it's not on Police State New Jersey's YouTube channel, you should be able to find it. I believe Black Label has it on his, so I would recommend, if you want to see the whole thing, go search it and you'll find it. So I'm just going to narrate over what takes place here, because I really, in this video, I kind of pulled out the key points that I saw that this cop was really just out of his mind. And this is
you came in as a suspicious person.
Yeah.
Anytime we investigate as to somebody calling in about suspicious, we need...
This is the same bullshit line we get all the time. You're a suspicious person. You're engaging in lawful activity, but yet you're suspicious. So this is their go-to routine. I've dealt with it every time that I've been on a audit, either along with somebody, that this is the line they go for. So this must be standard operating procedures. It's like a script line that they read.
To at least identify who it is we spoke to.
Now he's going to articulate the law.
Not in trouble in any way.
Right. Okay, then I don't need to...
Okay, he just said it. You're not in trouble in any way. Now, this is a key fact to remember, because I know there's some people out there that posted their messages on this video trying to tell me their version of their understanding of the law, and it's clear by what they say that they have no understanding of the law.
If I did.
Well, you do.
What law is that?
To know who you are.
What law is that?
I'm investigating a crime. It's actually called obstruction if you fail to provide...
Wrong.
Wrong. See, it's another blue line bullshit. This is why I say he's a Blue Zero Hero idiot. And I'm going to start a new series. It's going to be called Blue Zero Hero Idiot. So idiots like him, he hasn't really hurt anybody. He's just being an idiot.
you're telling me you're
Now, this is the real reason why he wants the ID.
doing something, that's fine, but I need to verify who you are.
No, you don't.
So in the event that something turns into something, I at least can say, all
There
right,
you
when
go.
I spoke with this person.
There you
You're
go.
making this mo-
That is the real truth of why he wants the ID. He's covering his ass. Because in the event that something did happen, yeah, he's got a point. But that doesn't invalidate police state right to remain silent. It doesn't invalidate the Fourth Amendment, the right to privacy.
more difficult than it needs to be.
No, you are.
Here we go. Here we go. Now get ready. Now I've dealt with this before, personally myself, and with police state in New Jersey. I've dealt with this. This is another go-to tactic that they use. And remember, they can lie, and this is a lie.
If you fail to provide your documentation, you can be placed under arrest for
You
obstruction.
think so?
Oh, I know so.
You know so.
So I'm going to ask you again, can you please provide your documentation? Otherwise, you are going to be placed under arrest for obstruction.
He knows so. Well, I got news for you, Frank. You don't know so. You may think you know so, but you don't. Now he's going to call police state New Jersey a liar. But we know who the liar is.
So now I have a concern as to whether you're being truthful and honest with me. Do you understand?
Okay, well, you're not being truthful and honest with me because you haven't quoted the law yet. Then I'm required to show you I
I
did.
already explained to you.
See, this is the great thing I like about police state New Jersey, and many auditors. People like High Desert Community Watch. He's like the Mac Daddy of it. That he's calling this cop out. He's calling his bluff. And police state New Jersey, in his own little way, is calling this cop a liar. Say, yeah, go ahead. And this is really what you have to do. And you got to do it with confidence. Now, finally, a sergeant rolls up on scene that knows what's going on and knows his job. Now, what you don't see in this picture here is that police state is surrounded by other officers. And one of those other officers is a sergeant, from what I remember he told me. Now, this is Sergeant Ruiz, I think it is.
He doesn't need to explain it to you.
Well, he does actually. He actually does.
Frank, just hold on a second.
So let's find out.
Can I just ask you what you're doing here?
Yes, sir. I'm in public taking pictures of a public building, expressing my First Amendment right to freedom of press. I'm here to actually file a complaint.
Okay. You have that right. You have all those rights. You just.
There you go. There's a cop that knows his job. You have all those rights.
Well, he appears to tell me that I don't.
Now, just so you know, there are.
Now, this is another standard operating procedure for cops. They can't just say, okay, you got a right, have a nice day, we'll see you later. They've always got to give you the do's and the don'ts in the lecture. They always got to tell you what you can do and can't do.
Areas of this building that are posted.
Absolutely.
Off limits.
Yep, like
All
the back of that parking lot there, it says
So
restricted area, you can't go back there.
Areas or video those areas.
Absolutely.
Other than that, if you want to walk around with your camera, you can walk around with your camera.
And
Hallelujah. We got a cop that knows what he's doing.
You don't have to show ID right now.
Now look at the look on this cop's face.
If you want to walk around with your camera, you can walk around with your camera.
And I don't need to show ID to do that.
You don't have to show ID right
Yeah.
now.
Frank, you got shut down, Frank. So let's talk about this. This cop, Frank, here. Now, I don't know this guy. I know that he's been on the job 8 years. He was a class 1, then a class 2 at Seeker Police. So he's kind of worked his way up the ranks to get where he's at. But he's an idiot. And this is why I say he's an idiot. And he, as far as I'm concerned, he should be fired. And this is why I think he should be fired. What this cop did is basic cop training. This is like 095. Anybody ever been to college knows what an 095 course is. 095 is the basic stuff that you should know when you come into college. So if you want to take algebra, you got to take a test. So you take this math test and a basic skills math test, and you fail it. They make you take 095, which is adding, subtracting, multiplying, and division before you can get into the 101 class of algebra. So stopping somebody, asking them questions, and when they're permitted to demand ID is 095 shit, okay? It's basic cop training. This is the basic crap that he should have learned in day one, okay? The first 30 days in the school. And he failed it. He failed it miserably because just the way that cop acted, he truly, in his brain, felt he was entitled to that ID. Despite the fact that through his own admission, he said, "You're not doing anything wrong." Or not in trouble, I think. Whatever he said. Okay, through his own admission. So through his own admission, he said, not doing anything wrong. So then he goes and he tries to threaten police state with arrest, with a bogus charge which would never stand. And I'm going to talk how obstruction doesn't apply here. Now, for some of you blue goose swallowers out there who are making excuses for this Frank Moschella, excuse me, here are the 3 times that a cop can lawfully demand ID from you. The first one is if he has belief that a crime is in commission, meaning he pulls up to a house and you're standing by the window with a hammer in your hand, ready to hit the window. That's the time he can demand ID, and you have to fork it over, and if you don't, you can get the obstruction. The second one is you've broken that window, he sees the window's broken, he saw you break it, he can arrest you now. Once you're arrested, you have to give up your ID, or you get the charge of obstruction. And the third final reason that a cop can demand ID from you is if you are a witness to a crime. Say you saw some guy take that hammer and hit somebody over the head with it. Okay, and the cop comes out and says, "Did you see what happened?" "Yes, I did." "Well, what's your name?" You can't say no. You got to give it to him, because then you're obstructing the investigation. Those are the 3 times in the state of New Jersey, and most states for that fact. New Jersey is not a stop and ID state. So this cop failed the basic. I'm not even a cop, and I know this. He failed it miserably. So now you probably wonder, well, why does he do it if it's basic? Because they are so accustomed to us not knowing what our rights are, and if we do have an idea what our rights are, we don't have the confidence to implement them when you're confronted by one of these knuckleheads. So they play the verbal judo game with you, intimidate you. You know, most people are scared to go to jail. I'm not scared to go to jail. I've spent the night in jail. I'm not scared. Doesn't scare me. There's not too much these days to scare me anymore. I'm 58 years old. I'm almost through life. But most people are deathly afraid of the police. They're afraid of going to jail. They're afraid of standing up for themselves. And the cops get away with this every time. They always got to intimidate, and people cave into them. And this cop has learned over time that he can get away with the crap that he does. And I questioned to the chief of Tom's River, how many other times has he done this crap? I think you need to look at every arrest he's ever did that has an obstruction charge attached to it. But this clown, Officer Frank Moschella, he needs to be fired. Okay? He failed the most basics of being a cop. He's beyond training at this point. He's stupid. Let him get fired. Let him go sit home. Go find a job at another police station, and let him spend a little time thinking about the stupidness that he did. Because if that Sergeant Ruiz did not show up on scene, Police State New Jersey would have been arrested. He would have been handcuffed on him, taken into headquarters, and charged. He would have been released, and now he'd have to go to court. He'd have to hire an attorney, and this whole thing would cost him a couple $1,000 just to beat the charge. The charge would get thrown out, and then the next step would be the lawsuit, and I'll get to that later. Now you get to these, what you didn't see in the video, which was there's other thugs surrounding him. A couple of patrol officers, and I believe Mike said there was another sergeant there who stood and watched. Now, these other thugs that were standing there doing nothing, the enablers, protecting the blue line, because none of them had the balls to stand up. See, this is where the good cop has to stand up and say, "Hey, Frank, you're wrong. You need to leave this guy alone. He doesn't have to ID. You didn't arrest him. You haven't articulated a crime." But none of them did it. They stood there idly and watched it happen. They watched a potential lawsuit. That's what they watched and did nothing. And that's the bad cop. Showing his face. That's the bad cop. Yep. Now, what I think should happen to those guys that stand around, did nothing, and enabled it, I think they need to be suspended for 30 days. Let them go home without pay and think about what they did for 30 days and let them know that the seriousness of what they did, that our rights are very important to us. Many people have died protecting those rights. And that's what needs to happen to them. Now, as far as the chief, you know, the chief he's doing the usual propaganda stuff. Hey, we're going to look into it. We're going to investigate it. Well, we know how that goes, right, folks? We know how the investigation, it's always the same storyline. Well, you know, we got to get them more training. We're going to get them this. We're going to get them that. All the basic stuff that they should already know that we shouldn't have to tell them. We have to tell them about when they can ID somebody and when they can't. We have to tell them not to escalate. We have to tell them not to hurt women and beat up children and shoot people in the back. We got to tell them that. If we got to tell them that, they need to be fired. They shouldn't be cops. But I will say this. It sounds to me, based on what I know, that this chief of police down in Toms River, I think Charles is his last name, is trying to be proactive. So we'll see how proactive he's going to be, because I'm watching this. Police State New Jersey's watching it. Matt Tim is watching it. We're all here in New Jersey. We're watching it. And I'm going to tell you who the players are here in New Jersey when it comes to auditing. It's me and Police State New Jersey. And to some extent, Time Change Jersey Style, she's also up there. She's one of the prominent ones too, in her own madness way of doing things. So we're watching you. Along with all our followers, we're watching you. Now, I don't really know what more to say. I'm sure as soon as I get done with this video, I'll have more things I want to say, but this is the same crap that goes on all over the United States. The minute you're trying to do something lawful, like this camera thing, they got to get in your face, they got to demand this, they're going to threaten you with arrest, and nothing ever changes. And that's what I wanted to get onto. Police State says, he wants to make change. Well, we all want to make change. Now, he has a different way that he wants to do it. My way is to expose it and talk about it. Because I say the things that people are afraid to say. And I would say this to the chief of police of Toms River and every other chief of police in the state of New Jersey, all other 500 communities out there. Here's the way we can change things. First and foremost, we got to have a citizen review board, period. When a cop gets in a complaint against them, it should be investigated, and those results should go to the Citizen Review Board to make a determination as to what should be done with that police officer, because we cannot trust you, police, to do the right thing, because we know that you protect each other. We know it, okay? Don't tell us that you don't. We know you do. Don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. Second thing we need to do, as Matt Tim has said in one of his videos, when these complaints go in against these officers and they investigate it and they make a determination and they reprimand the police officer, it's not subject to OPA requests. So we don't know. And I'll give you an example. When Mike and I were down there at Lakehurst Naval Base and we got jammed up by that Manchester Police Sergeant Shari, who threatened to arrest us if we didn't ID. We filed a complaint. The chief of police down there, she did the right thing, and she investigated that officer, and he was reprimanded. But they're never going to tell us what the reprimand was. What's the reprimand? He got a stale donut? He had to work the midnight shift for a week? I think Sergeant Shari should have gotten a month off from work, unpaid, so he could sit home and think about what he did. But that's another example. That's a sergeant who should know, and he didn't. And he took advantage of me and Police State. That was one of our first big audits we were on, and we were on we lacked confidence in that video. And I'll tell you what, I learned a lot in that thing. It's easy to say you're going to do this, you're going to do that, but till you stand there and you're surrounded by guns, it's a different story. And finally, the thing that I've been saying that these police have to have is they got to come with their own liability insurance, because right now they have no stake in their behavior. If Police State New Jersey got arrested, he would have beat that charge and he would have had a hell of a lawsuit. And the police department would have settled that lawsuit. They wouldn't have taken that to trial. They would have settled it. And guess who's going to pay for it? You got it. Taxpayers. So where's the officer staking it? Where's the chief of police staking it? There is none. So if they have their own liability insurance, so that if a settlement is made, that they got to pay a little out of their insurance policy. And that way, when they got to pay out, their insurance rates go up. And if they keep, just like your car insurance, you keep going out and getting in an accident, your insurance gets so expensive, it gets to the point where you can't afford to drive the car anymore. And that's what these cops got to have. They got to have their own liability insurance, so they have a personal stake in what they do. All right, enough of this rant. This is Gunnison Undercover. Let me know what you think about this debacle here in Toms River. Let me know what you think about Police State New Jersey. Go to his channel and watch his video message. Let me know what you think about that. And I'll provide the link for that story. And we'll be watching this to see what goes on. Till next time, be well, be safe. And as always, you got to watch the cops. You got to watch them. You got to record them. And you got to hold them accountable, because this is what's changing things. That video camera that Mike had with him is making a difference now. That one little action on his part is going to make a big difference. And I'll tell you what, I told Mike thumbs up to him, man. I will say I'm jealous. I'm jealous because he did it, but that's okay. I support it. You know, I'm behind him 100%. And he's, you know, this time our side is getting the win. It's going to get a win this time, instead of the other way around, because we see too many videos of auditors getting jammed up and have to beg for money to get themselves out of jail and straighten these problems out.